Sony happened to showcase Venom footage at San Diego Comic-Con. And with 8 weeks till the release of the movie, they decided not to release the trailer, but apparently it sounds amazing. So,
Yeah,
But how dumb releasing?
yeah.
yeah, it's one of
Why?
those weird things, right? Like they
Why?
were one of the few to not release some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you look at, we'll talk about it later, but Warner Bros. They had showed stuff, but they also released a trailer. But I guess they showed extra stuff. I wish they would have did a trailer and just showed extra stuff for
Yeah.
them. But I mean, I know we always make our jokes about Venom, and I feel like I was the only one when it first came out. I was like, this could actually be cool, and I guess it's looking at it could be cool. Like,
I'd say I've heard a lot of positive stuff about this.
Yeah.
The footage from Comic Con, but at the same time, it's like, I
Like,
don't
it
know.
looks like it's
you're a little more interested in the movie, but
I
not.
love all the
I
symbiote
like that
stuff, the
I like that
symbiote.
they've been doing pulls. Like you've got Riot is apparently the main villain. It's not Carnage like everyone expects it to be. Like there's a potential that Scream's going to show up, and the other symbiotes from Lethal Protector. So
I think
it's interesting.
I think the thing is with the company that does the symbiote stuff. Something about, like, I'm not that great in my Marvel history, but something like in their comics they wanted to, it was like a World War thing, right, where they wanted to avoid it, and they had the symbiotes. They went in their bunker, but in the movie they're gonna want to go to outer space or something like that. It's like the difference is like they just want to go to outer space instead of kind of like survival war, something like that. Maybe it was the original run. I felt like I read it somewhere.
I mean, I don't ask me about symbiotes.
You're right.
I'll just read you the Donny Cates run. That's all I know.
The only one
so-
that matters.
I mean, like we said, the only big stuff is the riots, and there's gonna be other symbiotes. It's dark, funny, I guess, and it could be cool. I mean, like you said, 8 weeks.
I mean,
Sure. I know we were kind of like, I don't know if I want to pay to watch this. I feel like I kind of do, you know?
I mean, I'm going to check it out, but I'm going to like maybe see if I can get a free ticket.
I mean,
yeah.
well, so here's the weird whole like aura I see around this movie is Venom fans seem to be 50-50 on it. Hardcore Venom fans are like, it needs Spider-Man because
it's
well,
Venom.
Yeah, but a lot of Shazam fans are 50-50 on Shazam, and that's just because they want Captain Marvel.
Right, so it's a weird thing when you look at Venom because I think the movie could pull off something that's genuinely good. But then when it came to talking about it, and this is what I want to point out, during the actual panel, they asked Tom Hardy, and he's like, so what makes Venom so great? He's like, well, I want to kind of talk about this, but... And they kind of talk about the fact that Venom is a hero. But literally an hour after that, the director is with IGN doing an on-camera interview. He's like, well, the best thing about Venom is that he's not a hero. He's a villain. He's savage. He's bad. I'm like, so there's like
so what exactly is your marketing strategy?
It's like a contradicting message. And then, even to make matters worse, and I published a photo of when I got the scoop, which was like 5 days before the actual news article I posted that told me Sony right now is scrambling to get Spider-Man into Venom. And then at Comic-Con, they actually talk about this. They're like, so you're going to see Spider-Man at some point, but we can't tell you where, but it's definitely going to happen. And it's like,
No.
So it's basically, if they get him, he's an after-credit scene, and that's it, move on.
Yeah.
It'll be some webbing.
Oh.
Yeah, it probably literally will be it. It's like, oh, what's this?
But
and it's
the
like,
thing
why
is-
is he in San Francisco?
Like, Marvel, Disney, they're not letting them use that Spider-Man because that's binded by that contract. So are we going to get a new Spidey?
You'd have to, because just think of how it would literally destroy the timeline again.
Uh-huh.
Because you got Ant-Man and Wasp in San Francisco, and a movie can't ignore a movie. You can ignore a TV show all you want, but you can't ignore something like that happening.
Yeah, something that big.
So, like,
I mean, they never really... In Evan and the Walls, like, it was, like we say, it was very small in its scale, so maybe it's like, it could
but it's
get
in
around
it's in San Francisco, but then you've also got a point of, well, where does Venom take place?
Right.
Yeah, like when?
Where and when does that fit in? They've said it's in San Fran, so it's got to be, or San Diego, so it's got to be in there. So it's got to be near those. So those two surely have to
And
interact with some
Right.
way, and then like, well, why is Spider-Man over here? Then that affects the Spider-Man movie, which we know is going to be in Europe. So Venom can't clearly be currently. It can't be after. It has to be way before, and it just makes a headache. So why? I don't.
And
It's got to be someone new. It can't be Tom Holland.
honestly, from just what I've kind of heard, anecdotally, just talking to people and people that have dropped me off hints before, is that they're not shying away from Spider-Man. Like, we're gonna see him in the Venomverse. I've been told that by multiple different people who do not know each other. So I'm like, if that's your goal, how are you approaching this? Because realistically, the only way I will accept Spider-Man existing in this universe is if it's set in Andrew Garfield's universe and he reprises his role. If he's not, I don't care. Because
That'd
be cool.
had history,
Just, I mean, I understand the history point. What if they played it smart and they did it as Silk?
Oh, yeah?
And it's not Spider-Man, it's another one.
That would be
Because
great.
you have that. What if it's Miles?
Or any other spider from the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah, make it Penny Parker and have the Evangelion.
Make it
Even though
2099.
even though
Make
the
it one.
goddamn Spider-Verse movie ruined the Evangelion reference in that suit, so I'm mad. But anyway, it's like, you have thousands of other spiders. You can just do the same thing with a different one.
What if it's Spider-Gwen?
What if it's Spider-Gwen? I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Well, she's
That's what I said.
now,
There's so many
right, yeah, Ghost
spiders
Spider,
in the
yeah.
Spider-Verse that I
Here's
don't
an
see why
idea.
they have to focus on Peter.
Here's an idea. Go absolutely fucking wild. Have villain versus villain. Give it superior Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be
Why
awesome.
not?
But
you can go completely different. You can just snatch that little thing WB wanted with Suicide Squad and be like, no, look, we have an actual villains universe.
Eh.
It's like we got a spider that uses guns.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be good, like, realistically, if they were to use Silk, and maybe there is that hint in the movie, like, they're like, oh, there's a spider person, maybe we see Cindy Moon or something. I think that would be great, because you can rebuild Silk to essentially work without Peter Parker. Just have her bit by a solo spider or some sort of difference. I would honestly accept that, but once again, we come back to the, like, I guess, the big point of Venom. It's like, we need a clear message. Stop teasing. Just tell us yes or no, because the moment we know, people, I think, will be more accepting of it. But they just
What,
don't
that
seem
a
to want to admit.
Spider-Man is going to be in it?
Yeah, is it set in
See,
the core universe?
I don't
or
know.
not?
I don't know if that like makes it extra special that people are gonna. For me, I'd rather it be a surprise, to be honest. I'd rather it like not know. Like, there's rumors, sure, that there could be a Spider-Man, and you say that somebody told, but I'd rather just like go into the movie and at the end you're like, whoa, there's a Spider-Man, or during somewhere in the movie there's a Spider. I don't know. I just rather it be a surprise.
Well, see, here's the thing.
That feels like it'd be better.
Unless Sony do a TASM 2, they're not going to show you the end credits.
Yeah.
Because that's all it's going to have to be in, because the movie's done.
I don't know. I just don't see how like saying spoiling your movie in a way. There's a Spider-Man in here would make it so people want to listen. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be better as a surprise.
I know already quite a few people, and I'll always take it with a vacuum, because this is the internet. People you talk to generally tend to have the same ideas, but I already know a few people that are like, look, if Spider-Man is in this and they're somehow connecting it, I will see this movie. If I hear he's not, I don't care, because the character
I just want
It's
to
such
ask,
a disappointment if they do it. If they
I just want to ask for a quick potential name drop. Are you talking about Tusk? Because he says that on Twitter. He's like, what's the point of this movie at all? I'm not like, why? Give me Spider-Man.
Well, no, generally, I've talked to someone recently that kind of, how do I put this? They tested Venom, let's say that, and one of the cuts they tested of it, a lot of the people coming out were questioning, where is Venom? Like, as a relation to the Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
And during those tests, that's why Sony decided to go, we might have to somehow get Spider-Man in this. So there was a lot of confusion even with test audiences, with my dude who's literally looking at responses from people, and I'm talking about hundreds of pages that he looks through of people giving their response to this movie where it was tested. So different cuts of the movies all screened, and if the main complaint about it was from even people that just kind of know of Spider-Man watching this movie for a test and then coming back and going, So where's Spider-Man? Because they're all aware of Spider-Man 3. I think that's a problem. You have a problem with your message, you know, and I think that's why they're
But
doing that whole thing, you know, like.
At the same time, if the only problem is where Spider-Man,
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of not a bad thing.
True. Yeah.
At least you can go, well, our movie must be okay if that's the only problem.
Right. Yeah.
I guess that's being optimistic about it, right?
Channeling my inner Joe. That's how I got to that conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, it still seems like that I might be the only one here that's probably like, I'm sure we're all like kind of be okay with it, but I'm kind of more excited than the usual. I don't know. There's just something about it. I just really like Tom Hardy, the director. I think this could be the ideas of like he talks to Venom and he, you know, is fighting. I think it's gonna be cool.
It has me more interested in going to watch it because before I did not have any idea or think I was gonna actually watch this movie from the beginning.
Well, I mean, what I kind of like about it is like it looks different, and I genuinely want it. Like I want this movie to be good. And what kind of really got me into it was, you know, watching those things on how they're talking about how they set up Venom, and it was Tom Hardy's idea for the scenes he's in where the symbiote is a part of him. The camera, when it's pointed at him, in the opposite ear, they did one of those like tiny speakers into his ear that was Bluetooth, and he would record constant Venom lines with his Venom voice. So when he had to script, Venom would be screaming into his ears and stuff, and like it would show up in his eyes when it's twitching because he wanted to sound like he's losing control. I'm like, you know,
that's cool.
He seems to understand what the symbiote is. It's like, I want the movie to be successful and good, but Sony is the only worrisome part because Sony, since Spider-Man 3, has not understood what they need to do with these characters other than go to Marvel and let Marvel do everything with one movie. So it's like, I'm apprehensive because of Marvel. That's like,
some might even say Spider-Man 2. I don't know. I enjoy Spider-Man 2. I think it's really good. A lot of people, there's people who don't.
I mean,
I've seen it. I've honestly seen it.
I say Spider-Man 2, but that is a hot take on the internet. And
I was going to say, oh no, what are you doing?
I've seen that take before, and it's just wild because I don't know. I really enjoy Spider-Man 2, but I guess I could get from a point because a lot of they do change up some stuff. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they change. There's a lot different with that.
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess that'll take us off of that topic, and let's go into our next one. So